sitting in your car during another exhausting day, and this thought crosses your mind. I can't do this forever. Or, I don't want to do this forever. Matter of fact, when you get to the office in the morning, you hate driving in the parking lot, and maybe you sit in your car for a couple minutes before you go inside. Maybe it's the burnout talking, maybe it's wisdom, you're not quite sure. But here's what most ministry leaders miss. The way you prepare to leave when you do leave matters more than when you actually go. Your exit strategy isn't about giving up. It's about giving forward. That's what we're talking about today here on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. Hi there, my name's Todd Rhoades, one of the co-founders over at chemistrystaffing.com. And today we're talking about transition and how you leave and when you leave, because most of us are planning our exits all wrong. Now, maybe today you're like, Todd, I'm not planning on going anywhere. That's fine. I think you're going to find something in today's podcast that will work for you as well. But there are a lot listening today, right now, that are hearing my voice that are like, no, there's going to be some kind of a transition here. If not in the next couple months, in the next year for sure. A lot of us are just planning our exits wrong, whether it's a month from now or 10 years from now. We think succession planning is something that only senior pastors do. And that's just wrong, because every ministry role needs an exit strategy. We talked a little bit about this yesterday and talked a whole lot about succession last week, in case you missed it here on the podcast. Every ministry role needs an exit strategy. That means if you're a children's pastor, if you're a worship leader, if you're an administrative assistant, doesn't matter if you've been there for 2 years or for 20 years, you need to have an exit strategy. And here's where it gets interesting in what most people do wrong. They wait until they're already mentally checked out. They hoard knowledge like it's job security. We talked about that yesterday. They assume that someone will just figure it out when they're gone. And they focus on what they're leaving behind instead of who they're leaving behind. And the result of all of that, a lot of times they burn bridges on the way out the door because things don't go well. Now listen, I know you're not trying to make yourself replaceable. You're trying to make your impact sustainable. I understand that. But you do need to take on a little bit more of a legacy mindset. And by that, I mean, you need to be doing some things that will set yourself and your future self and your future church and your current church up for success. And it starts maybe just with something simple like documenting your processes. You're the only one that knows what you do a lot of times. And you need to start writing that down and documenting your processes, not because you're leaving today, but because what you've learned shouldn't die when you leave. It shouldn't die with your tenure. So identify somebody that could step into 70% of your role and start to invest in them, not when your resignation letter's already written, but start to invest in them now. Because if you create systems now, they're going to outlast your personality and they're going to outlast when you're not here anymore. Build relationships that will survive your departure so that you can leave when you do transition. Here's the reality though. Your successor, whoever follows you, will either bless your name or curse your name. Let me repeat that. After you leave, whenever you leave, the person that follows you will either bless your name or they'll curse your name. The difference is how much you prepared them for success. And the smoothest transitions that I've seen happen when the leaving person cares more about the ministry than about their own ego. Even if they're not in the healthiest of situations, people don't remember how long you stayed. They remember how well you handed things off. So here's the bottom line for today. Your legacy isn't what you accomplished. Your legacy is what keeps going after you're gone. So this week, just pick one person. We talked about this yesterday. One person and one process that you own that only exists in your head, and then write it down, document it, make it transferable, not because you're leaving anytime soon, but because what you've learned and what's in your head is too valuable to leave when you leave. Your exit strategy is really a love letter to the people that come after you. So make it a good one. I hope this has helped. We've talked a lot about succession, but I do think this is really a big topic at Chemistry Staffing. We talk with candidates all the time that are in the middle, in the throes of transition, and some have done this transition really well, and others have not left well, and they're paying for it now. It makes it harder to find your next role, too, because you probably won't get a good reference from the church you just flamed on the way out. So if there's any way I can help you, my name's Todd. You can reach out to me at my website, todd.church. There's a contact form on there you can fill out, and it comes right straight to me. I'd love to be able to help you and your church any way that I can. All right, I hope this is helpful. We will talk to you again tomorrow, right here, you and me, on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. See you then.